Feminine essence. Why is it that so many women with perfectionism these days tend to value and embody more of the masculine virtues rather than the feminine virtues? It all boils down to that we have become more and more and more disconnected from what feminine essence is and what value there is in feminine essence, as well as just purely getting disconnected from what it means to be a woman. And I think that because we have placed so much importance on the doing, the achieving, the hustling as women, we have inadvertently become distorted within ourselves, which causes unfulfillment, especially in the long term. But it also completely inverts the polarities within relationships and also within the world. This is a real issue. And I see it especially when working with women who have these high-performing tendencies that also have become a coping mechanism through perfectionism. And what is it then that is the root of this? What is it that is the root of women becoming more and more disconnected from the feminine virtues? It's typically the matrix. And it is also the kind of conditioning that you have gotten from your childhood environment and caregivers. So when you grew up, if you grew up in an environment that hardened you, that toughened you up, or that made you think that your value and your worth came from doing, achieving, and getting things together, right? Holding yourself together, then that is going to be what it is that you will embody moving forward in your life. Most likely. And if the matrix is intending to disconnect you as well from your feminine core essence, then you are going to be treated like a man from the very beginning, from infancy. And so we have come to a point now in this evolution of our world, but also, I believe, within our own individual journeys, where unfulfillment is increasing. And it fundamentally has to do with not knowing what feminine virtues are, what feminine essence is, and being completely disconnected from it as women. And it causes you to be exhausted, tired, and feeling like something is off, so to speak. So, if you then grew up in an environment where caregivers celebrated you for doing more than being, if they celebrated you as a little girl for having things under control more than surrendering and playing and, being nurturing, then you are going to go into the world thinking that that is not valuable, or I won't be seen, heard, and understood for that. And I'm going to do the complete opposite then, which is exactly what most women do. But within you, you most likely have a wounded inner child, a wounded inner girl that is seeking and wanting to embody this feminine essence in which you came here for, in which you came here to embody. So this journey of blooming beyond perfectionism for women especially has a lot to do with softening the hard edges. Let me repeat that. It's all about softening the hard edges and creating a sense of security for yourself where you feel like you can surrender. And when I say creating a sense of security for yourself, that also means to let go of so much control and responsibility to do that solely independently for yourself. It takes that you begin to soften into the masculine energies and presence around you. And this is a journey that is one of the most courageous journeys that you can go on as a woman that have been hardened throughout your life. That you can begin to soften again. This is a deep desire and urge that is being suppressed and repressed for so many women. And I am inviting you to join me over the next podcasts to debunk, to go to the root of feminine essence and get clear on what that actually means. What is feminine essence? What are feminine virtues? And is it possible for you to actually begin practicing these virtues, these qualities that actually are innate in you, in your DNA as a woman, so that you can begin to take off the perfectionistic armor and so that you can come into that in which you truly are and begin to create and be and shine your radiance from that place. There's magic in coming back to your feminine essence. It's interesting how everything then begins flowing so much more easily and effortlessly to you and through you. It is so magical. And I would want every single high performer with perfectionism among women to have this experience where you can actually create more. You can actually perform better. You can actually have better relationships. You can feel better about yourself. You can go about this world so much more fulfilled when you truly allow yourself to embody these qualities, these virtues of what it means to be feminine. The feminine essence is within you. It is not something that you have to pretend to be. You don't have to pretend to be a woman. You don't have to pretend to be something you're not, because you are a woman. You are a feminine creature. It's more so about undoing that in which you really are not, that in which the matrix has imposed onto you, that in which caregivers have imposed onto you, intentionally or unintentionally, and beginning to declutter that through shadow work, but also through beginning to embrace and even practice feminine essence. I know that it is possible for you because I have gone the journey myself. You would not even recognize me If you met me a decade ago, I was the definition of what it means to be disconnected from my femininity. I was so utterly disconnected that I hated men. I had a hard time relaxing into my womanhood. I constantly felt like I needed to push, prove, and please to force my way through the world. I put more emphasis on career advancement, getting ahead, than I did nurturing self, others, and finding value in connection. I was so conditioned due to my own childhood and my own place in this matrix that I became so empty, so unfulfilled, and completely lost in it all. I wouldn't want you to continue in such a way that I did to that point. Eventually, when I begun actually breaking free from that through seeing the flawedness in it all, then the essence in me started to come through organically, naturally, and I felt a sense of acceptance for being feminine and a woman. And it's interesting how that has unfolded to this flower that I feel like I am embodying more so now than I did in the past. So it is possible for you. And you can begin to actually align yourself with this timeline, this reality where you are embodying your feminine essence and coming back to that, creating from that place, loving from that place, and being you from that place. So over the next couple of podcasts, we are going to really go deep into the feminine virtues, feminine essence. And we're going to talk about everything from warmth, openness, emotion, softness, mystique, consideration, calmness, appreciation, quietness, understated confidence, modesty, tasteful vulnerability, nurturance, yield, magnetism, playfulness, cooperation, and elegance. These are all qualities that comes with feminine essence. And I invite you to come back to these qualities. And I'm looking so much forward to going deep into each and every single one of them so that you can begin to have less resistance to embodying them and seeing the value in them and beginning to actually soften into them so that you can begin to let go of the need to armor up and be hard and really soften the tough edges, the hard edges, the edges that aren't really meant to be there. So I invite you to come along with me on this journey. And as always, you're more than welcome to apply to join the Bloom Beyond tribe, which is this tribe of both sunflowers, bloomers, and boss bloomers together who are both then free guests and also paid clients together who are, high performers with perfectionism that are committed to blooming beyond that through, for instance, kind of balancing out these polarities, these energies within. Because that's what it is all about. both you and I and every single one of us have both masculine and feminine energies within us, but we do have a core essence, and that comes with the gender that we are born with, that we're born into having. And being able to align yourself and also do plenty of shadow work, to come back to this essence is crucial. And what happens is that it naturally and organically balances itself into the nature of things, the nature of you, so that you can shine through you. So we talk so much more about this as well. And you receive personal coaching and all of this within this Bloom Beyond tribe. So you can go to bloombeyond.com/apply to join the Bloom Beyond tribe. And I'm very excited to see you on the other side, and to receive your application and see what your current and desired situation is. And then you'll get this free monthly cohort in there so we can get to know each other and everything. And now I'm very excited and glad to be spending the next podcasts really going deep into the feminine essence. Stay bright, brave, and balanced.